Hi, friends. Welcome back. This is Caitlin. Today, we are going to be taking a request from one of our community members, Angie, who had asked at the end of our live on Tuesday um, if we could make a card with a treat holder. So when I was planning that out, it occurred to me that probably the only thing I can think of that would make a good treat holder on like a flat card would be would be those like Ghirardelli squares because they're really flat. And so I do want to make that, but I didn't have time to like run to the store and get any of those. So it's on my to-do list. Um, but we're going to make it work. So today, instead of making a card that um, has a treat holder, we're going to make a treat holder on its own and a matching card. That's our workaround for this one. I'm very concerned that I don't see anyone in the chat. I'm going to throw that out there. Um, we're going to just hope for the best. We're just going to go with it. So, yeah, because it's not, okay. I don't know what's happening. Like I'm nervous to keep going because I don't know if I did something wrong. Let me swap over. You know what I can't do is I have my iPad here. Let me see if I can find me. Let's see. If I can find me, then we'll just keep going. All right, I can find me. I see me, but I don't see. I don't see the comments, which is strange. I see Mary, Lisa, Nancy on here, but I don't see you guys in the on my big screen, which is no bueno. All right, let me see. I'm gonna just put up. I can only do one at a time. Actually, can I? Sorry, guys, just bear with me. I swear I'm trying to make this work. All right, I have YouTube pulled up on my iPad. Let me get Facebook going on my other browser thing. And then I think I'll be able to at least see your comments. And then I promise we'll jump in because we got a lot to talk about on this one. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't want to show me the comments. Sorry, guys, I've literally never seen this happen. Thank you, Nancy. All right, I think we're good enough. Okay, let's see. We're gonna make it work. Facebook is weird. You gotta swipe. Yeah, I found them. Okay, so bear with me that I might be slow to answer some questions, but I will do my best to keep an eye on all the comments I'm now surrounded by screens. But I'm gonna switch us over because we are gonna be making this a really cool, well, this is the most boring version, right? But I made a custom dimensional box, and in my box, my Reese's cups fit perfectly in there. So this is gonna be our treat holder. And I'm gonna show you how I made it with no dies, nothing special. So let me swap this back. There we go. Okay. So you can see here, I have made a template. I messed around earlier with the dimensions, and I'm going to be honest with you, it took me 4 tries to get this. But I'm pretty proud of myself because this is just an original box. Sorry, I have it upside down. So I have here, I have it marked with where we're scoring all of our lines. And my starting off paper is 7 by 7. Sorry, that's wrong. 7.5 by 7.5. So a 7.5 square, and we're going to score all of these places and then turn it and score here, and then turn it and score there. Everything that I have marked orange, we're going to cut away. That's trash. And then these pink little wedges are just to remind me to angle my little tabs so that they fit better when you put the box together. So I'm sure that this looks insane, but we're gonna turn it into a box. Okay. So I have my wildflower cardstock. That's what we're starting out with. And we are gonna start by trimming this down to 7.5 by 7.5. Okay. And scrap bin. So I'm just also trying to keep an eye on these comments. All right, and we're gonna need our scoring board. Perfect. All right, so it doesn't matter which side you start with, obviously, because they're the same. But we are going to follow our template here. Okay, so we're going to score at the 1/2 inch mark. We're going to score at 1.5 inches. We're going to score at 4 inches. And we're going to score at 5 inches. And now I only have this one thing of candy in my house. But you could fit all kinds of stuff in there. I'm like 99.9% sure you could fit like a whole thing of M&Ms. Definitely some like little stickers and I don't know, some kind of other treats. Like this thing it's a good size. All right, so I made all my score lines this way. Looks so dark. Why are you so dark? Today's just the day, man. Okay. I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees. We are going to score it 1 inch. I'm going to turn it the other way, and we are going to score at a 1/2 inch and at 1.5 inches. What? Go upstairs. All right. So that is everything's poured out. And I'm going to take a better bone folder and we're going to reinforce all of these score lines. Everywhere we scored, we're going to fold. On all the sides. Okay. So that is the base part of our box. And now I have it kind of like flipped. So now I'm going to take my scissors and these really little skinny little rectangles on the very end on that 1/2 inch that we cut or that we scored, that whole thing has got to go. So I like to just start by trimming those away. You want to try to cut the closest that you can to like the middle of your score line, but you know, we're human, these are handmade. All right, so those are gone. We have this nice little tab here. The next thing we're going to do is cut all the way up to that score line. Right, you can see we're cutting all of that, and this little bit of extra, he's got to go. He's out the door. Okay, we're going to go back in and do our pink lines later. Okay, so we're going to repeat that exact same thing we just did on this side. So we cut all the way up to that second score line. Okay, and that little rectangle, he's out of here. Okay, and now this whole chunk, he's got to go. Okay, this is super optional. If you have a hole punch or like a 1-inch punch or a 1/2-inch circle punch that you can like punch a circle out of this, go for it. I don't have one of those, and there's no way that I'm risking putting this thing in my die cutting machine because it will ruin it. I already know. So my workaround, because both of my parents raised me to be extremely resourceful, I'm going to take the lid of my glue and I'm going to make a 1/2 circle line with my pencil. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. Like, it is what it is. And I'm going to do my best to cut that as neatly as possible. But in an ideal world, if you have one of those punches, please use it. Okay, and then the other thing I like to do when I do stuff like that, where it now I could have like a jagged edge, is to take my bone folder and just kind of run it along that edge, and it'll just kind of like round it a little. Maybe I just overpressed it, whatever. It's fine. And then don't forget to put your glue cap back on, your glue, because we all know what happens when I forget to do that. Okay, so on the opposite side now, right, we just made all our cuts on the top, so we're turning it, we are at the bottom, and we are going to just cut to that main horizontal score line on all 3 of those marks. Okay, so we have all these little tabs here. We have these guys at the top. All of these ones that are square, we're going to taper those tabs. This is just going to help everything to fold up better so that it's a little less bulky. In theory, optional, but highly recommend. Okay, and then the same on this side. These 2 squares, I'm just going to get a little haircut. Okay, just like that. Get rid of all of our scraps. And now we are ready to assemble our box. Okay. So I'm going to take tape runner, which I don't always do, but it is extremely a pain in the butt to do this. You want score tape, or you want score tape, or you want some kind of adhesive that's not liquid, so that you don't have to worry about it drying. So you're going to run tape runner or like, you know, regular double-sided tape up the side of that, and then the edge that doesn't have your circle or your like extra flap in the middle, this is the bottom. So we're going to add adhesive to one of these rectangles and both of these squares. to start with. Yeah. Nope. I just did that completely wrong. Hold on. How are we going to fix this? Oh, no, we're right. We're right. Okay. Good. I got it. Can you tell I don't teach 3D things often? Um, sorry. Like you sometimes I said dot adhesive, but sometimes the like permanent adhesive or adhesive runners, sometimes it's like little dots and sometimes it's a strip. Whatever you have is completely fine. So we're going to fold in our tab just like this. We're going to fold in this tab so that the like rectangle is flush against the side, and fold that tab down just like that. We're going to, this side already has tape on it, so we're going to line that edge up the best we can. And now these all have tape on them, so we're gonna fold that over and close that up. And then what I like to do is take like an embellishment wand or a pencil, paintbrush, and you're going to stick that in to push down. And then I like to put it flat on the table and use that to press down that long tab that we made, just so we know that everything is nicely adhered. So just like that, our little tabs can fold down, and then that's why we got to trim. We trim is a little, just needs a little, maybe that was enough. Let's see. Come on, box, you're making me look crazy. So tabs down. There we go. So now we have that little circle. That's why it's optional. It just helps you to be able to open the box. But without it, you could always do like a little loop of string around and you could pull it that way, or you can do it just like that and you have a box. And this box will fit our peanut butter cups. Look at that. We made a treat holder. How perfect. Okay, so now to take our treat holder from just being a paper box to something way more fun and special, I have, I pre-made a bunch of stuff this time because no, I knew we were going to be tough on time. So I have I have another piece of wildflower cardstock trimmed down to an A2 size panel, 5.5 by 4.25. I have a piece of the pumpkin foilable kit, right? That looks like this, the Halloween foilable kit, but we're not going to foil. I just really wanted a fun black and white pattern. And so I have no problem with using this not foiled. So I have one piece trimmed down to, what are you? You are 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, let's just start assembling while we're already here. Doesn't make sense to walk you through everything and then assemble it. Okay. And then I took a piece of, I took a piece of black cardstock and I ran it through this small dot embossing folder, which is one of my all-time favorites, because look at all of that crazy fun texture. There's something about this like black cardstock specifically with these little bumps that just makes me so happy. So this one is trimmed down really small because I still wanted you to be able to see those pumpkins around it. So this is 3 inches by 4 1/4. And we're going to pop that right in the middle. Okay, and then to make these match, I have also trimmed down panels of the black with the polka dot. So these are all 4 inches, right? They're all, nope, they're all 4.5 inches. And then the 2 bigger pieces, the pumpkin and the black, are 2 inches. And these little skinny bits are 3/4 of an inch. And so instead of layering the pumpkin and the black on this one, I'm going to put one panel on the front and one on the back. I want the back of mine to be the one with the janky circle. It would probably make more sense to have that as the front to tell the person you're giving it to make sure they open it. But if I had a whole, like an actual circle punch, or had the ability to die cut that without it ruining my paper, I would make that the front. You do whatever you want. Okay, then we're going to add these long strips to the sides, just because I think it's fun to have that like extra detail, especially with like these just came as the scraps from that panel, right? So like we're not even using extra material. Okay, and then our pumpkins are going to go on the back. And it's okay for them to go on the back because we know people are going to see them, because they're going to need to open that little circle. And we're still going to be decorating the front more. In theory, we would cut that too, but I don't feel like doing that right now. All right, so this is the start of our little matching set. But to really bring it all together, I wanted to use the Halloween Brew stamp set, which is one of my absolute favorites. I love this stamp set. They're the cutest 2 little witch spiders. One's flying on a broomstick and one has like a bubbling cauldron. And I already stamped and die cut, because you know these have those coordinating dies for the sentiments, which is absolute perfection. So the broom one decided itself because the sentiment doesn't fit great on our box. So the broom one is going to go on the card, and the Happy Halloween with the bubbling cauldron is going to go on the box. And I just stamped that on a scrap of the wildflower cardstock with our asphalt black ink. If you guys could have seen me struggling for like a solid maybe 20 minutes, half an hour earlier to figure out those dimensions for that template, it was a lot, guys. It was not cute. I will try my best. Well, we'll just say right now, if you're watching this later, pause this and screenshot this shot, and that's your template. Like I don't have a good way to post it anywhere. So this is your chance. Okay? Okay. We are going to Copic color our little spiders. Thank you so much, Heather. I think they're very cute too. Not gonna lie, this one definitely stressed me out a little bit, but I know they're gonna be so worth it, because they're just so stinking cute. And this whole comment thing has me, thrown. We're good. We're gonna get there. Okay, so we're gonna start with our black items, and we never color our black items black. We color them with grays, otherwise they will lose all detail. So I'm gonna start, the only thing that's gonna be black on this little witch is the band around the hat. Okay, but this guy has the cauldron. And so I'm going in with an N8. And I do want this to have some kind of metallic shine to it. So we're going to leave that highlight space. And I'm also going to not connect that shadow. Like there would be a little bit of that curved highlight over there. But I'm going to also enhance kind of the lip of that cauldron, just like that. Okay. And that said screenshot done. Perfect. Good job, Annette. If anybody missed it, you can go back into the replay, and I promise you'll be able to screenshot it if you need to. We're going to go through and just start blending that shadow out with that N6, kind of connecting the shadow lines, connecting across under the lip of that cauldron. We're going to finish shading in the feet completely. And then with our N4, we're just going to fill that whole thing in. My N4 needs some love. I really need to do a marker cleanup really bad. Just have a lot of stuff going on. I don't know about you guys, but I swear this last month flew by. Like I blinked and September was gone. I don't understand how that works. I'm shading in the rocks on the ground with that N4 and then bringing in N3 just to make them look a little bit different than the cauldron. And I forgot to do the hat band on this guy. So we're going to just color his hat band in, or her hat band in, black too. Okay, we're going to make the hats orange. We're just going to do this one with a 2-color blend. So I'm going to just pick a side and we're going to lay down that shadow just in a straight line. I'm not skipping over the pattern or anything. Just trying to keep it slightly more simple. And we'll just shade in the buckle that same color too, because that's a pretty, the YR04 is a pretty goldeny orange. Okay, so while we're at it, so I save myself from having to get another color too, we're going to add just a hint, tiniest little hint of these to the stars and then the little bubbles on this side. So there's our orange. Done. I want to color in the frog and the grass. I don't even know if you guys can see this little frog. You see him sitting up there? He's so cute. So I'm going to go in with YG99, which I think is just like the perfect Halloween, like fall green. We're going to shade in that grass. We're going to add a little shadow under him. And then with my YG55, that's a good bit brighter. We'll just kind of like run that along the edge and then shade his body in, but I'm leaving his little eyeballs white. And his coloring will help him stand out a little bit. They'll help him not get as lost. In person, he's a little bit easier to see. So for my spiders, I didn't want them to just be gray. So I decided to grab some interesting kind of like funky purples. They're not like a super bright purple. So this is the V20s. So we're going V28. First. Adding that shading kind of just around the perimeter of our spider. And we're going to jump to B25. I just like that these are a little bit more muted. Those like little bit less saturated colors really just, I mean, to be fair, you could do neons for Halloween and still get away with it too. I just think with the like kind of burnt orange of the Wildflowers cardstock that it all kind of fits. And then the lightest shade is that V20. Just blending that all together. We also need, which I did not grab, we need a straw color and we need a broomstick color. So we're just going to do one color. This is the E25 along that broomstick. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with E31 on those bristles, just kind of flicking in that color. So now we have the world's cutest little spider duo. I don't love how this is looking on the blend though. Yeah, that's better. All right, and you know when I am trying to be very prepared and save on time, I already have them die cut. And I love that this one cuts that space under her. I just think that just makes the whole thing. So for the box, I'm not going to pop up anything with foam, but you know for my card, I have to. It's like a prerequisite. Virginia, yeah, I'm not sure if if a regular size Hershey bar fits in there. It would be pretty close. I'm not positive, and I feel bad that I like didn't stop and buy like more candy, but like my doctor would be happy that I didn't stop to buy more candy. So, you know, it's tough. It was a tough call. I'm sure my kids would have loved to have helped me research this more. I'm just trimming down my foam. Sorry, guys. Oh, I forgot I'm zoomed in. That's why. I'm like, why is it not? There we go. Trimming down my foam to just little bits. Oh yeah, Annette, that's a good call. Um, the other thing you could do, I don't want to like over complicate this or make anybody's head explode that like isn't, if it doesn't make sense, I apologize. But this side would be, in theory, like any candy bar, I think would fit across here. Like nothing's going to be wider than that I can think of for like a standard candy bar you would buy at the store. So the only thing you would really have to worry about is your length. And you can keep all of these other dimensions, like the 1 inch and all of those the same. The main thing you would be changing is this section. So if you needed it to be an inch longer, you would add that to this middle part. So instead of that's what I'm saying, the way I scored it, just doing an inch in and then a half inch and then inch and a half, like at the inch and a half mark in, you wouldn't even need to change or math it. You would literally just make your paper 7.5 by 8.5. And then you could do the exact same score marks, an inch on this side and then a half inch and an inch and a half. And it would now be the same exact box, but an inch longer. So keep that in mind too, that like you can use this as your base, but that's basically how I went about it. I laid out my Reese's thing on my paper and measured it and then worked backwards from there. All right, let's add our Little broom guy. And you guys know I do not math. So today I can barely word. I certainly do not math. So if I can do this, I promise you can do it. All right. So we have, if the broom fits, ride it. So cute. And we have, this glue is just literally going to be the death of me. I'm going to take this whole cap off later and wash it and like see what happens then. So, I'm mentally maxed out with this glue. All right. So our little cauldron spider is going to go there. And with the texture on these dots, if you can lay something heavy on top, not super crazy heavy, right? Because especially with the box, you're not trying to like bend in your box, but like one of those acrylic blocks just to keep it flat so that it sticks to the dots better. I would recommend that. And in an ideal reality that I don't live in, I would have a card base ready to go, and we would just pop that card front right onto our card base. But this is this reality, and so we're just going to pretend that I did that and trust that one day I will add it. It'll happen at some point down the road, maybe. So yeah, those are our matching, coordinating treat box and card. Not a card that holds a treat, but a card and a thing that holds a treat. And I will do my best to figure out a Ghirardelli square solution card holding a treat for next week. If anyone has any other ideas for what could fit in flat enough into a card, please leave me a comment. Because like crystal light packets or Ghirardelli squares is all I've got right now. So yeah, I love this box. I think it's so fun. I think there's other little like dollar store or party store little toys or stickers or crayons or something, anything that you want, you could fit a whole bunch of stuff in here. But also a Reese's packet of Reese's cups, which I'm sure now my husband is going to want because he didn't know they were hidden in the house until today. So thank you guys for making it through this one. I'm going to hold up the template one last time, just in case anybody earlier didn't get a chance to screenshot it. Now is your opportunity. I'll just hold it there for a minute. There we go. If you're watching this in replay, it's okay. All of the green lines are where we scored. All of the orange is what we cut away. And then the pink are the edges that we just trimmed a little bit. Gave it a little haircut. Cut that away too. Okay. All right, there I am. All right, thank you guys so much for being so patient with me. I've never had this happen where I couldn't see your comments, so I apologize for not being able to answer any questions that might have popped up. I will do my best to go back and check for any questions in the comments. Sorry, let me quickly I think I have it in here. Somebody just said something about lip gloss from Bath and Body, and you know I have a pumpkin lip gloss, and 100% that would fit. And you could probably fit like a bigger normal size lip gloss in here too. What else do I have over here? Like a bigger tube of something absolutely fits. So keep that in mind. Love that idea. Yeah. So Angie, yeah. Angie, I did try to make a candy holder. It's not exactly what you asked for. I'm still working on that. A card that holds candy is in the works for next week. So definitely watch this one back. But then next week, keep an eye out because I will try my best to make you a card that holds a treat. But yeah, thank you guys so much again, like I said, for your patience with me, for all of your support and understanding. I hope that you have an amazing weekend. I will be back here on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until then, guys, happy crafting. Have a good night.